Hello, today is December 9th, and that makes it day 67. Um, what am I thinking about? Okay, so today it was just nice to talk with one of my coworkers about just our recovery journeys. She asked me about group therapy, and her dietitian had recommended it, and she asked me if it had been any help for me. And yeah, it was group therapy saved my life in a lot of ways. I kind of talked about how I was raised in the church and I was prayed over a lot, and I felt really guilty that my faith hadn't healed me, and I felt really guilty and shameful about that for a lot of years, because I thought that if I just had more faith and I was more spiritual, and then God would have healed me. And I think that really influenced this need to please people and to be perfect and be kind of blameless, because if you're blameless, then you're sinless, and then there's no reason God won't heal me. And dedicating your kind of life to ministry, dedicating your life to the faith. So it was hard when, it started at 17, and by 25, I was an adult and having problems. And so to finally get into a recovery program that was not Christian-based, with psychiatrists and dietitians that weren't faith-led, I went into a recovery group with mainly teenage girls, and I didn't know what they would have to teach me. And there's maybe 10 to 15 of them at a time, and quickly I learned that I had a lot to learn. And I had a lot about vulnerability to learn, and a lot about honesty, and a lot about just not putting on a face and not being put together. And people are in different phases of their recovery, of being able to put on a face and pretend, and not be able to pretend, and that's why they're there. And kind of every range in between. And especially around females, I learned to be able to be around females. I learned to be able to be direct. I learned to love females in a really particular way, to empathize with them. And even now, I feel, called to work with women, and I find an easier time making friends with girlfriends. And I have 3 sisters and a sister-in-law, and, now 2 nieces, and I work in industry mainly with women, and I am so grateful, because one of the things that the recovery group therapy taught me to do is take women from competition and a threat and a gender that I size myself up against and I feel competitive with, to a gender that I feel a lot of empathy for, and I feel related to, and I feel a part of the group. So many white women in particular, and middle-class white women, have this disorder, and it was kind of the thing that we had access to, and the cultural influences that pushed us in this direction, and the generational struggles that we have. So many of us, our sisters and our mothers, and maybe even our grandmothers, struggled with body image, and used food as a coping mechanism. And so I'm more easily endeared and relate a lot easier to women now, because I see them with a tenderness that I hope they see me with. It's not about, am I prettier or skinnier or smarter or better, or can I not eat a pastry, or can I be in some way better than they are? And anytime I feel threatened by a woman that I feel like I'd like to be more like, or I feel like is better than me, something my sister taught me, it's don't make them an enemy, make them an ally, and learn from them. Bring them onto your side. They have things and qualities and characteristics that you're trying to grow in. Don't compete with them. Don't bring them onto your team and learn from them. And in a lot of ways, my group therapy with female girls who are going through hard things, they were incredible, intelligent, capable women, that I could have easily written off before, because your eating disorder and any kind of addiction like this can make you so mean. And if people had written me off in that same way, I wouldn't have the girlfriends that I'd have today. And they I felt like I was given a chance to like find my authentic self. And a lot of times girls in recovery and women in recovery just need an opportunity, need someone to be patient with them while they're struggling to find their authentic self and to voice her. And so it's just really nice to have that sort of grace for other women, knowing that they've extended it to me.